Welcome back, everybody. 7 Minutes for Seniors. I am Chris Wilson with Modified Independence here at Senior Counsel on Park Street with Mike Jorgensen. So this is our third segment. So we got all the talking about seniors out of the way. All right.
Yes.
So now the idea about this is to get to know more about you. All right. So
Easy topic.
It's funny that like we took a little break and I had a chance to walk around the conference room here and started realizing that you have a really interesting hobby, which is my first question. What kind of hobbies, what kind of things do you like to do when you're not being a senior law attorney?
Thank you for asking, Chris. I don't mind letting you know I'm in my mid-60s. And one of the questions we get asked a lot is, I'm about ready to retire, but I haven't planned for it. What am I going to do? And so something that you and I talked about during a break is, what gets you up in the morning? What gives you meaning in life? And we all hope to all have those things that give us meaning in life. But when I was a teenager, I used to wood sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because I was raised by a single mom. And all that it cost me were the price of the chisels and the coping saw and the sandpaper. But the wood was free and it was a very inexpensive hobby. So I used to wood sculpture when I was 17. And then I got busy with life.
Mm-hmm.
And I took literally a 50-year hiatus. And a couple of years ago, I started getting back into wood sculpturing again. And now I have about 35 sculptures, and people come to the office, and it gives us something to talk about. And we share experiences, and we share life and meaning. And what does that mean? And it's been so healthy. And that's where I have my TikTok page and my
Nice.
Instagram.
Nice. Do you sell your sculptures?
I do.
Okay.
And
All
we
right.
had people who purchased them. One of the sculptures we sold, it resonated with the woman because it was a cello player.
Okay.
And her granddaughter was a cello player. And she said, I just have to have this for my granddaughter.
Yeah.
And so if I can carve something that would resonate with you or somebody that you want to give a gift to, it's really an awesome, unique piece of art. It can't be duplicated.
That's awesome. And here's his card. When we're all done with this segment of interviews, there's a QR code there if you want to zoom in on that. When we're all done with this segment, I'm gonna make sure I grab my camera and get some photos of your amazing work. It's really cool. Being a therapist, obviously, there's one over there with a hand. I think that's just absolutely fascinating. You're able to nail the thumbnail with a knot in the wood, which was really neat.
Which was really accidental, but it is truly art therapy.
Yeah.
And it is wholesome and it's healthy and it gets you off the couch.
How many hours a day would you say you do this?
Oh, when I'm in the groove, I haven't done it for about 3 months because of my surgery. But
right.
When I'm in the groove, I'll spend 2 or 3 hours a day because my workshop is downstairs. And so what happens is I practice law and I need a half an hour break. And I'll go downstairs and I'll...
Oh, downstairs in this building?
Yes.
Really?
And I work it out for half an hour and I come back up and I'm invigorated and I'm ready to go again.
That's cool. So you do something for you in order to recharge the batteries to go and do the work. That's
to
cool.
Help others.
That is really neat.
Thank you. It's really turned out to be a blessing.
And that's the reason why I do this interview, because I mean, you and I have known each other for quite a while, but I would have never known this about you if not for these interviews. So, this is really, really neat.
Thank you.
So the other question in this segment, tell me something surprising about you.
Well, surprising about me is I don't know if I should have ever been a lawyer. Really? Seriously.
Okay.
And I used to teach law school, and so many students would come up and I'd ask them, why do you want to be a lawyer? And it was surprising on how many had misconceptions about the law and what it does. But when I say I should have probably never been a lawyer, I always was planning on being a doctor, a physician. And I worked in the hospital as a phlebotomist. And I always thought that I was going to be a doctor, except I couldn't get through calculus on my own.
Oh, okay.
I had a great study companion, but he wasn't going to be there taking the LSAT with me.
Right.
But I have worked in the hospital setting and have participated in probably about 25 surgeries. And I love the medical field. But my law degree has opened doors I would have never thought possible, Chris. I've had an opportunity to argue in front of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. I've had an opportunity to clerk with a federal judge. I've had an opportunity to teach law school. I've had an opportunity to have my own firm. These are things that wouldn't have happened if I had not been a lawyer.
Right.
Now, that's for me personally, but I also have to wonder, have I helped people? And so when I go to bed at night, that's what I think about. Who have I helped today? And if I haven't given something back, then I don't feel like I've done my job.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said in the last segment, you personally helped my family tremendously in a time that that we needed answers. And of course, there's always the go-getter in the family, and there's the person that hangs back for a second and tries to analyze everything, and the other people with opinions that really don't have their hands in everything. So just like any family, we've got a messy family, and having somebody objective coming in and answering those questions, I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that my in-laws would not be living in the home that you guys protected, and they wouldn't have been able to use the assets that you guys protected if not for getting you involved. So I really appreciate you.
Thank you for sharing that, Chris.
Yeah.
Really, isn't that what it's all about?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I feel like I do the same thing going to bed. Like, did I help somebody today? And I hope the answer to that is yes as well.
Well, let me just put in a small plug for you, even though it's unsolicited. Chris has helped us in our firm because we are dealing with a vulnerable population. And we needed to know, where did we need to come into compliance? And so Chris has done a couple of surveys, and you've helped us.
Oh, well, awesome.
So it's a good team. It's a win-win
Yeah,
both ways.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. This has been our third segment of 7 Minutes for Seniors. Make sure you reach out to him. His information, wood sculpture by Mike, is right here. QR code on the back. I'm going to make sure all that information gets out there. That way you can get your hands on some of his beautiful wood sculptures. Otherwise, we will see you again tomorrow wearing the same outfit, sitting in the same spot for our fourth segment.
Thank you, Chris.